Hey Ross World, this is Financial Literacy 101. And today we'll be talking about what's good and bad investment advice. What's good and bad investment advice? Or what's good and bad advice when it comes to your money in the first place? Today I was thinking very hardly about how life was short. I saw some of the special on Kobe Bryant. Hey, good evening, Miss Curly Girl. Thank you for joining me today. I was seeing the special on CNN about Kobe Bryant, and we all know these things that they spoke when people in your life that mean so much to you die. We kind of get that rejuvenated, refreshing mindset of life is unexpected. Your death is unexpected. I mean, unless you're doing things to increase the chances of, you passing away. But you never know when you're going to go and how you're going to go. So you have to do some things to set yourself up for success. Like, there have been a lot of rich people that don't make a will and trust and all those things. And I'm not trying to be morbid, right? But we have to take those measures in place to protect and take care of our loved ones. What am I getting at? You get bad and good advice everywhere you go with your life. And some people say, man, life is short. I'm not saving money. I'm not investing money. I don't care about no debt. I'm just going to live my life and have fun. That's bad advice, ladies and gentlemen, because without money, that you could be essentially saving, investing, and helping other people out, maybe your kids, your family. But what if? What if you just live to be 60? What if you just live to be 70? And that's the point that people don't get, the what if part. There's been a lot of people with that mindset who set themselves up for failure. So do those things that are profitable. Do those things that are good for you and yours. But the one thing that I won't settle for is spending all your money because you had a tragedy in your family. And hold on to your seatbelt. It might have been your mother. It might have been your father. It might have been a close uncle or grandparent. It could have been one of those very important people in your life that spoke life and gave you, good advice and wisdom and took you around to the store as a kid and bought you ice cream, and you don't know how you're going to go on in life. But let me tell you this. The worst advice that somebody can give you is that you to spend your money and don't have a nest egg to back yourself up in case of trouble. Okay? Life goes on, right? Tupac said it, and life goes on. So we have to live for tomorrow, but we have to enjoy the moment that we're in today. Okay? All right, let's get into it. First and foremost, I just want to let everyone know, every now and again, you have to treat yourself. You have to treat yourself, and treating yourself just like you would be on a diet, right? Because right now, we are on different courses. We're on different roads, so to speak. We are either on we're on different types of financial roles, but it depends on where you are in your life. Don't expect everybody to line up with your financial plan because everyone is different. Everyone is on a different road. So you might call it a financial diet. Some people might call it a financial lifestyle. Whether it may be, every now and again, just like a food diet, right? You have a cheat meal, not a cheat day. Okay, you'll eat bad all day. I'm gonna have bacon, eggs, tomatoes, potatoes, and biscuits and pancakes all in one meal. And like, that's more. This is my cheat day. So every meal I'm gonna have pizza, a medium pizza to myself for lunch. You will crush your entire diet for the next week. That's why most people know to do a cheat meal, not a cheat day. Because it's very, very different. It's a huge, huge difference. So anyway, today I went out and I treated myself. I've never, ever in my life bought anything this expensive when it comes to this particular thing. And I'm going to show you what it is. And you're like, man, that's a bad investment. And I'm going to say, you're right. But I treated myself. I bought one item. I didn't buy two. I didn't go through and just buy everything. I bought one item that was very expensive, and it's my treat. Okay, I sacrifice from going out sometimes. I sacrifice on a lot of things when it comes to my finances. Because I told you I have a little bit of debt that I'm paying down, and I also have savings accounts and investment accounts that I also need to apply because I need to what? Pay yourself first. So, with all of that said, I needed to treat myself. Now, this is not a treat. I bought this for a friend. No, he has his, but I've never really wore mine because I don't really have anything that is red. So I used to keep this in my bottom drawer. And like I said, I bought this for a friend. It's a very, very beautiful watch. If you want to go to, now, a lot of times when I tell you guys, look in the description, there's no information there. I'm going to make sure after the video is posted that there's going to be information there. So you can click and go to my Twitter. And I don't know if my Instagram is on there. I don't know. But I know I have my Twitter link for you can see the pictures I posted today. So anyway, but if you have that, then go ahead and do that. So like I said, I had this watch and I wanted some shoes to go with it. Now, the shoes, again, are expensive. I will say that. In my opinion, some of you ballers out there, okay, some of you ballers, I can't compete with some of you guys, right? Because again, this is the first time that I bought a pair of tennis shoes that's expensive. Okay, the most expensive sneakers. Am I hungry? No. Okay. Sneakers that I've ever bought was $80. I used to buy stuff on sale all the time. Very frugal, right? Very frugal, not cheap. I buy good quality stuff on clearance and sale. That's the difference, okay? That's the difference. The difference between cheap and frugal. Cheap is you just buying whatever that is at the cheapest price you can possibly find. Frugal is buying a quality product on clearance or sale or heavily discounted. Okay, so anyway, so here's my watch that I have. I bought this watch for a friend. Very beautiful watch. It's an Invicta watch. Okay, if anybody knows about them. So, okay. And plus watches is my weak spot, right? But I really don't buy watches no more. I haven't bought a watch in a while. Now, these shoes, again, some of you probably already know what they are. But I treated myself. I don't feel bad. They cost $200. Blood. $200. Yes, they did. And I bought these suckers right here today. Okay? I bought these today. So, I'm not materialistic, but these shoes, I was like, yo, that goes with my red watch. And I can get how people get when they buy stuff. They're like, oh man, yo, them LeBrons, man, these are the J's. Those LeBrons go good with my watch and my hat. I got it. I know why they do it now because I saw them and I had the LeBron 17s on. And I'm like, these LeBron 17s are really, really tight. So I took them off and I put these J's on. I was like, they feel good too. It's like, I never paid this much money for anything before. So I put them on. But I didn't feel like I was walking on air or somebody stepped on my shoe. I would punch them in the nose. They're just shoes to me. They're nice shoes. That soft leather, right? So I treated myself. All right. Anyway, that was my day. Now we're going to get into bad and good investment advice. Okay. So what's some good advice? Here's some advice to consider. Diversification. Okay, and I got my notes right here. It's a combination of Investor Junkie, Money Chimp, and Investopedia. Diversification has long been held up as a way to protect your portfolio. The theory has hold that some investors lose value, others while gain. For example, investing in emerging markets and small caps instead of just your blue chip touted as a way to protect your portfolio. Now, during a global recession, right? Back in 2008, 2009, you couldn't be diversified enough because most markets went down. Now, there was a few index funds that gained money. And that's the key thing about diversification, because when you diversify your money, what if you had all your stakes, all your shares in 2 or 3? Then your money would have went down. You get what I'm trying to say? Because when you don't heavily diversify, that's why I tell you, pick 3, pick 5, pick 8 stocks. And every time you get paid, buy one and buy another. When you get paid again, keep buying. Because at the end of the day, when you have a wide spread of stocks and there's a recession, or there's a market correction, or there's a market depreciation of value in stocks, chances are you can almost keep your portfolio afloat and profitability because of the index ETFs or even individual shares you may have may be still trickling at 0.5 or 1%. Because during the recession of 2008, 2009, there were still a lot of shares, there was still a lot of stocks in all different types of market, whether it be S&P 500, the New York Stock Exchange, or NASDAQ. There were still stocks on those particular exchanges and markets that was still rising, but at a very, very low rate, okay? We're talking about no more than 2%. But people who were heavily diversified, depending on the way the pendulum swung for them, whether it be heavy on individual or heavy on index, believe it or not, some of them broke even and some of them still actually appreciated in value. They still made some money. Now, you know my saying when it comes to losing money and gaining money, it depends on your portfolio. Here's the thing. So let's get your mind right. Let's get the philosophy mindset out there. Excuse me. You only lose money in shares of a stock when you sell them at a lower price than what you bought them. Day in, day out, your shares of a particular stock across all of them, across your whole portfolio, will go up and go down. But the trend is it steadily going up, right? Is it steadily going up? See, don't be an impatient investor, because even Warren Buffett said, and I've said it plenty of times before, that the transfer of wealth is from the impatient to the patient, right? Because you can't just watch the market every day. I rarely watch the market. I looked at it today, but I looked at some pharmaceutical biotech stock I was looking at. I think the ticker for that one was BBI. I was looking at BBI, and I bought 34 of them. They were fairly inexpensive. When it comes to those pharmaceutical and biotech stocks, those biotech, those are very, very risky. So I don't buy a certain amount of them over $5. I always catch them before they start to cap, right? They have a ceiling that the market analytics tells you that they will not go over, essentially. So it may go up to $10, and then based upon significant evidence and analysis and metrics, it may be time to sell it because it may have capped out. Now, chances are with a biotech stock, it could shoot all the way up to $50 and you still gain money, but you still didn't gain how much you would have. So the only way you lose money in the market, if you buy a stock, right? If you buy a stock or shares rather of that stock and you sell them at a lower price than what you bought it, just wait. 9 times out of 10, that stock trickles back up again and you'll be making some good money. Now, the only way you gain money, see, you can gain value and your stock can appreciate, but the only way that you gain money is when you buy a stock at a particular price and sell the stock at a higher price than what you bought it. All right, moving right along. When it comes, and we talked about life insurance, and this got me into the conversation of life insurance. It got me into the conversation of what should you buy? Should you buy term life insurance or whole life insurance? Okay. Whole life insurance policies have been paying for decades. Critics cite the low rate of return they provide and highlight how investing in the stock market can provide significantly greater gains. While it's true that whole life policies pay low rates of interest and positive rate of return beats the negative 40% delivered by the last bear market. Now, I gave out some information a couple of years ago on here, and I still stick with my term life insurance. Now, that's a whole nother conversation. That's a whole nother video, but you can check on Ross World out the 600 and something videos I have to find out one. All right, moving right along. Matter of fact, I'm gonna stop here and I'm gonna read some of your notes, if any. I see you, Miss Curly Girl. You on your job this evening. Thank you very much. I got the 68er. Okay, you're from Bahrain. Okay, I actually been to Bahrain. as a Marine security guard. Fact. See, that just note I just gave everybody. I never really tell people that information. But at the end of the day, yeah, that was years ago. Years ago. I was young. I'm still young, but not in my, 20s. I know you thought I was in my 20s. But anyway, all right, I'm getting off track. I know. Money markets are safe as cash. Good or bad advice? Money markets are as safe as cash because money market accounts have been marketed as safe for so long that 401k plans often list them as cash. However, they are only as safe as the institution that holds them, and banks do go out of business, especially regional banks. Your assets could be tied up with regulators, so out of the fund. So, are money market funds safe? For the most part, they are when you are dealing with a national bank. Regional banks, more oftentimes than not, during a recession or depression, they go out of business. Now, if it wasn't for that bailout, who knows where banks would be at today, even the national banks. All right, here's one. Good or bad advice. Don't pay off your mortgage. Don't pay it off. Why? Why are you going to pay off your 30-year mortgage? Fixed, hopefully. And granted, I tell people, if you can afford it, do a 15-year mortgage. Do a 15-year mortgage. Take, for instance, if you're 29, 30, and you did a 15-year mortgage, how old would you be owning? No. Not paying on your mortgage owning. Because people say, oh, yeah, I own my own home. No. You're paying on your home because the bank owns it until you pay off your mortgage and they give you the deed. Okay, but you can call it yours for now. Throw some curtains up there, but don't pay that mortgage to see whose house it really is. Anyway, 30 years of age, that house be paid for in 15 years, 45. You'll be 45 and you will own your own home. You're still young. Well, you still got people in their 60s and 70s still paying on their home, wondering if their retirement is going to cover them. You understand what I'm saying? So if you can afford it, here's another thing. If you don't have a large family, you don't need a large house, right? If it's 2 of you, or if it's 3 of you, or even 4 of you. I know people who live perfectly comfortable in an 1,800 square foot home. Now, my last house, it was 2,900. It was astronomically big. It was 3 floors. And when I looked around the house, and I was by myself, and I was like, hello. And I lived up on the 3rd floor because I was like, I'm kind of scared in here by myself. I mean, I had 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, 3 floors. The top one was a loft. You can make it a whole nother bedroom if you wanted, or a party room. It was going to be I call it the penthouse. It was going to be, but I ended up sleeping in the penthouse, It was going to be a fun room. Now it's just a me room. But I didn't need all that darn house. I didn't. The only thing I liked was it had a small yard. Because, nowadays, when they build new houses, right? When they build new houses, they build them this close together, right? I'm going to tell you how close my house was to the next house. I did like this, literally. I did like this. And I could touch both. I could touch my house and my neighbor's house with my arms like this. Right? Just enough for you to get a lawnmower through, cut your grass. And my grass cutting took me like 15 minutes. But anyway, don't pay off your mortgage. You think that's a good idea? Got some notes about it. The logic stated that investing your money would generate a greater return than paying off your mortgage. When bear markets hit, this logic is out the window. Let me tell you something about if you don't pay off your own home, because this is funny, right? Real estate values, because some people always think that the value of their real estate, or their home rather, will always appreciate. That's not entirely true. Because guess what happens during recession? The market percentage of appreciation of value of a home drops tremendously, and the same as in the stock market, ladies and gentlemen. And it's coming. I just don't know when. Usually is around 10 years. We're past that mark. I don't know what Donald Trump did, but thank you. Because my portfolios has been looking great. I'm not a Trump supporter, but I support that money. I support that money in my bank. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm getting at, ladies and gentlemen. But here's the thing. You'll be a darn fool if you don't pay off your house. The appreciation of value of homes rise and fall whatever the market is doing. But I can tell you this. And what if during that market recession, you can't pay the bank the money that you owe them? Now I'm going to tell you this. There was a lot of people who lost their home during the recession. A lot of people. Except those people who paid off their home. So if somebody tell you don't pay off your home and just invest the equity out of it and try to double and triple it up, because listen, again, I told you when I first started this video, it depends on where you are in your life. If you know you're going to stay in that home, pay off that home. If you know you're going to, move in 3 to 5 years, then of course, I mean, you want to pay the less you can while you're still building up the equity in the home. So it just depends on where you are financially and what are your futuristic goals. Because all that's going to play into the equity that you have built up when you actually sell the home. But for you who are just going to buy a home, and as far as you know, you're going to be here, this is your retirement home, meaning that when it's all said and done, this is where you're going to live throughout your days. I urge you to pay off your home in 15 years. Because that 30-year home, you may not need all that room. And here's another thing. Base the home off what you have in your savings, in your investing, and what you actually make. Because if you do pay off that home and you're retired, guess what you still got to pay? Property tax. Property tax. So even though you own the home, you don't own the property, the ground that your house sits on. I'm gonna make a comment about that really quickly because I always tell people this. And some agree, some disagree. And I don't care if people disagree with me. I actually love when people disagree with me, right? Because it makes me a smarter person, makes me go out and do research, not to debate them, even though I love a good debate. I love a good debate, and I've lost many, but I keep on fighting. Here's the thing. If you do that, guess what'll happen? If you don't pay your property tax, that is. Guess what'll happen? They come and take your home. They come and take your home, right? Because if your house or your land wasn't passed down generation to generation, you're not grouped into that grandfather clause of not paying property tax. There are a few Americans throughout the U.S. that don't pay property tax because that land has been passed down from generation, from generation to decades, so on and so forth. So that's why some people don't even pay. A lot of farmlands may not even pay property tax because it has been passed down throughout the years. Nowadays, we pay property tax, and guess what, ladies and gentlemen? If you do not pay your property tax, you won't have a home. Even though you got the deed in your hand, the city, the state will come and say, you owe us property tax. Well, this is my home. I paid it all. You say, well, we're going to close down your house. We're going to take your deed because you owe property tax because you live in this city. And that property tax is paid for the fire department, the police department, the roads, the school, the sewage, and all those things to keep the city running. So if you ever seen houses on the 18-wheeler, you might want to move before they come get your home. All right, so pay off your house. Real estate is a safe investment. Real estate is a safe investment. True or false? Good or bad advice? I wonder what you guys are thinking. The idea that your house would always increase in value seemed like a safe premise. Multiple years of hefty price declines after 2007 and 2008 global financial crisis debunked this myth. So basically, if you think real estate is safe investment, it's safe for the most part, but nothing in investment is a foolproof, 100% guarantee not to fail. Because people will always ask me, they're like, Ross World, am I going to lose money here? And I'd be like, I don't know, right? Because I don't know. The only thing that I can give you is historical data, okay? I can give you analysis. I can look at all my tools, all my sources, and my resources where I get my information in order to give you guys great information. But at the end of the day, I don't know if you're going to make or lose money. These are just predictions. These are, well, they're better than predictions. They're estimation and guesstimations based off metrics. Okay. All right. Holding many stocks provides diversification. All right. This gem fails to hold up when a global recession pushes nearly all stock markets down. A global recession nearly pushes all stock markets down. Yes, there are exceptions, as a few markets always manage to stay positive. As I said before, in diversification, some markets may still be profitable, but not too many investors manage to pick the right markets in advance. So you have to think about what's really good or really bad advice. I want you guys to think about some of the things I've said before I get into my second portion here, and we move right along about some things that you need to do, that you could do to help you in a better place. Let me read your notes. Let's see what you guys talking about. Radioactive says, hello, first time here. Well, welcome. Radioactive wants to know my net worth. And quite frankly, with all assurance, I'm ready to tell you and the whole world, it's none of your damn business. Thank you very much. So if you're looking for a rich person to teach you about riches, you can go to another channel, because Ross will give you Financial Literacy 101 to help you live a better life. Anyway, don't let people know the secret. Let them suffer from debt. Oh, okay, he's radioactive. Got you. Don't worry. I'm on my job here, ladies and gentlemen. You know, every now and again, you have certain people that come in the chat room and they try to disrupt things. But hey, I'm on it. Miss Curly Girl is on it, and all my moderators are on it, and they will destroy those who try to take away. All right, I'm going back up. Dread Mike, what's going on this evening? Not true. All investment have risks. There you go. Hell no, pay it off. Thank you. Thank you. Someone is commenting. Thank you, Dread Mike. I appreciate that. Let's move right along. 680 said, I own 2 studios to rent. I own 2, maybe, okay, I guess you're saying you own 2 studios and you rent them out. Okay, all right. Thank you, Ms. Curly Girl, for that note about disputing your credit. And Derek C says, good evening. Well, good evening, Derek C. We're moving on to our second part of our video. And again, I started off giving some knowledge about wills and also trust, very brief. Also, we talked about good and bad advice. And today, if you rewind the video, I also talked about treating myself. I treated myself to a very expensive pair of tennis shoes or sneakers that I've never in my board, like in my entire life that I can remember. My tennis shoes have always been $80 or less, always. I got 2 pairs of Jordans. They were like old Jordans. I guess nobody wore no more, but they fitted my outfit, so I bought them, right? They were both $80 a piece. So my expensive shoes are more like, you know, all the other shoes, dress shoes, casual business shoes, stuff like that. I spend, you know, $300, $400, $500 on because they last long and I probably wear that more than sneakers. But today, I thought I would treat myself. And I bought me some really, you know, nice tennis shoes. And because some of you have just chimed in, I'll show you what they are. And I was like everybody else, I bought these tennis shoes to match a watch that I've had. I bought a friend of mine the same watch, and I haven't worn it yet. Okay, I haven't worn it yet. It's a very beautiful watch. I like this brand. It's called Invicta. I don't know if I'm showing this right. Okay, that's an Invicta. Very beautiful watch. Okay. But I went out and I was trying to decide. I was like, should I buy these or should I buy those? They're both the same price shoes, but very, very, very expensive. So I wanted one pair of shoes more so than I did another. And I saw a pair of shoes that were cheaper, but then they ran out at that particular store. So I said, well, let me go to the mall where everybody spends all their whole paychecks at, right? So I went and I said, I put on the pair of shoes that I actually wanted, and they were too tight around my feet. I had very flat feet, and I was like, well, I can't, these are very uncomfortable. So I treated myself, wait for it. For you who say it's gonna be a bad investment, I agree. So go ahead and beat me up, but I don't care. I treated myself to one item. Okay, like a diet with food. You treat yourself to one meal, not the entire day. You'll kill your diet for the next week. So that's what they call it, a cheat meal and not a cheat day no longer. So here are the shoes. I bought these shoes right here. I think they're beautiful shoes. They're retros, right? I don't know what number. I'm not a sneakerhead, but I promise you in probably a week or two, you'll look like, man, how long did you have them? A month? Because I'm not going to go. I don't even have the, listen, I wore these out the store. I bought $200 pair of tennis shoes. I'm wearing them. I don't care. I'm like a kid when you get new clothes. You just want to put them on. That's me. I don't care. I bought it, right? My money. I can wear it when I want to. Okay, that's what I thought. Anyway, I'm just kidding, guys. But anyway, I put them on. I gave them the shoe back. And the guy was like, don't you want to keep the shoe box in case you want to? I said, no. I bought these shoes for me to wear. It's like a car. People got all these cars and we're just gonna look at them. That's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna look at them. Man, that's a really nice car. And people will buy these shoes and hold on to them for years as an investment. I got it. It is an investment. This is not my investment, ladies and gentlemen. This is an investment for my feet. They were comfortable, so I'm gonna walk around and match my watch, and I'm gonna make an outfit out of it. But usually I buy black or white shoes because guess what? Black and white goes with everything. All right, move right along. Here are some steps to put yourself in a better place. You need to have a plan. You need to have a plan. Nobody plans to fail, but many fail to plan. Okay? Nobody plans to fail, but many fail to plan. Having a comprehensive financial plan in place, understanding your goals, and proactively manage your investments are never bad ideas. Create a budget. I'm going to beat the budget in your head every day. Create a budget. And some of you out there are saying, I ain't got one yet. I ain't got no budget yet. I ain't got one. I only got a paycheck, but I ain't got one yet. Yes, you do. You need to make a budget. I know I'm acting a fool today. Have a cash cushion. That's your emergency fund. That's your emergency fund. I always tell people have 3 to 6 months of all of your expenses in your emergency fund, or at least have $10,000. Now, some of you are going on vacation. Some of you are buying expensive stuff, and you don't even have $10,000 in the bank, or 3 months of your rent, your food bill, your cell phone bill, your internet bill, your electric bill, your water bill. 3 months of all your expenses to keep you living, just in case you lose your job or something happen where you have to, use rent money or mortgage money or something in that sort of arena. So have an emergency fund. Here's another one that people hate to hear. I know you hate to hear it, but I do it. And I believe it's a good idea for most of us to do it. Some of you are ballers. I got it. You got the money. You don't have to do this. Live below your means. People hate that because some of you just want to live your best life. But some of your best life is living your life in debt. So it's cliche. I'm living my best life. No, you're not. You're in debt. You owe some white old dude a lot of money. So you're not living your best life. You took his money and now you mad. The bill collectors are knocking on your door, calling you or emailing you, right? And you're mad because you owe some old white dude some money because you failed to pay him back with interest. I'm just saying. As we said before, and Dreaded Mike said this, not Dreaded Mike, but Dreaded Mike said it. Might as well call him Dreaded Mike. Nothing is risk free. Everything has a risk, ladies and gentlemen. So don't ever think any investment that I ever speak about is risk free. Okay. Bonds. If I would have said, this is hard. Bonds are sort of risk free. Your government bonds are sort of risk free. You're always going to get a return on the government bonds, okay? Your government bonds. If you go to US Treasury Direct, .gov or .org, something like that, US Treasury Direct, .org or .gov, you can buy US Treasury bonds, and they will give you a return anywhere from 1% to 4%, and those are a lot safer than investment. Those are like a lot safer than corporate bonds, and they're a lot safer, way a lot safer than what they call junk bonds, okay? Those companies who are just starting off, who needs a lot of capital, who want you to put stock in their company, those are very risky, okay? And we have to understand this, nothing rises forever. We're talking about the stock market, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about interest rates on your high yield savings account. Nothing rises forever. Everything goes down. Like today, I looked at Tesla. You know, Tesla was boom, 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 and they dropped so many points. And I think that the Dow dropped a lot of points too. And why do people talk about the stock market? Because there's a certain number of stocks on each market. And when that market head stock, the one that actually, it's that market like S&P 500, NASDAQ, or New York Stock Exchange. That means that majority of the stocks that are listed on those markets have also been declined, or they will decline, or they have been declined. When you look at like, oh, the Dow is 200 points down today. Chances are, if you had stocks on the same market as the Dow, you would have lost appreciation. As a matter of fact, those stocks would have depreciation in value. Just like today, I looked at the stock market, right here on Robinhood. Let's check it out. You know what? Let's see. I'm going on my phone here. I'm gonna look at Robinhood. And look at this right here. Look at this. That's the whole market. All red, ladies and gentlemen. The market. This is all because of the coronavirus. What stock is green? Fitbit. Maybe because that's Google buying them. But most of the stock market is red. Okay? So that is what the market is looking like today. Let's move along. Here's the one that everybody loves. If it's good, if it sounds too good to be true, then it is. Okay? Hope and greed causing investors to put their faith in the strangest things. Apply common sense before handling over your money. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to people who are telling you about financial advice, investment advice, saving advice, they say, put your money here or give me your money and we're going to invest it. We're going to give you 25% on your return. You're like, oh man, that's great. And after 3 years, you have $150,000 out of the $50 you gave me. Wait a minute, in 3 years, you're gonna give me $150,000 for $50? Yep, because without, our short match plan, we tiered this plan, we've tested this plan for 10 years, and it's always come back 25% or better. If it sounds too good to be true, then it is, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get schemed, don't get scammed with these guys out here talking to you about what they can do for you in your pocket. Some things are left to be old-fashioned. Okay, some things are like to be old-fashioned. And if you don't know much about investing, I would tell you, if you go over to two entities, I did a little bit of research today, and these two are the best in index funds so far. You have Fidelity, all right, whatever, and Vanguard, okay? You have Fidelity and Vanguard, and you go and buy their index stocks. Those are really good investments that have little risk. Like I said, everything has risk, but they have little risk. They have really good total market, and they also have your 500 S&P index funds for you. So if it sounds too good to be true about some joker telling you, about some lame telling you, yeah man, you put your money with us, hey man, we're gonna grow your money regardless. We don't even look at the market like that. We just got a short program that's gonna make you some money. Lame, we know you're lying. Too good to be true. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, read the disclosures. None of you when you get a product or something, you get like the instructions. What you do? I'm not reading that. It's like the instructions or something. You're not reading that, right? You buy a crock pot, you're like, okay, warm, low, medium, high. I'm not reading the instructions. This says it right there. With a lot of things, the financial markets, you want to read it, you want to skim it, right? You really want to look into it because you just never know. Read the disclosures. This may be the least exciting concept, but remember these phrases from every mutual fund prospect issue. Past performance is not indicative of future results. This product is not insured by the Federal Department Insurance Corporation. This product is not a deposit or other obligation of or guaranteed by a bank. And last but not least, this product is subject to investment risks, including possible loss of the principal amount invested. All right, some of these disclosures are in the many organizations and companies that you guys invest in, okay, that you guys invest in. They tell you stuff like past performance is not indicative of future results, meaning you can't look at past performance and predict that that's what your portfolio is going to make. That's what they're saying. It's not like they're being fraudulent or they're trying to scam you. They're just giving you the information that, hey, yeah, for the past 10 years, the stock has been doing 25%, but we can't tell you for the next year or the next day that it'll still be returning at that 25%. Another one, and this is key, this product is not insured by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. When it comes to that, you want it to be insured by the SIPC, okay, when it comes to investments. Usually savings bank and some online banks are FDIC insured. And that's why I always tell you guys to go to FDIC.gov and look up that financial institution to make sure they're backed, make sure they're registered, to make sure they're legitimate, okay? Or the SIPC. All right, and last but not least, they tell you other risks about investing, okay? So I'm gonna get on some of your notes. I'm gonna look at what you guys said. Let's see. My voice feel like it's going out a little bit. All right. Nolan Baptiste. Hey, I'm a first-time visitor, host of the stream. Well, thank you, Nolan. Thank you for joining Financial Literacy 101. Hey, man, this is a great channel. Why am I saying that? Because it's mine? Yeah, that's why I'm saying it. No, here we exchange financial information. We debunk theories and myths, but we get concrete information that's backed by research in history that I do. And also I give you stories about my life when it comes to finances, that I came from nothing, that I was poor, that me and my mom, when she was living, we lived on the street for 2 weeks. We were homeless and we would walk miles to get 2 eggs from my uncle. So it was little things like that that really changed and shaped my mind around finances. And most importantly, the information that I've obtained over the years to give that back to people. And what I've learned is, for my age, people tell me that I'm very mature because of all the books that I read to get me that information to look at life much better. Like, I don't go out and splurge every day, right? These shoes are an object of a treat, not an everyday thing or every month thing. When I go take vacations, it's because through the week I sacrificed. I didn't go out that much. Out that whole month I went out twice. The rest of the time I cooked, or I played my video game that I bought that was $500 at the time. So we do all these things, but we can save a lot of money just by staying in the house having a glass of water or a Coke and a smile or a piece of chewing gum. A chewing gum can keep you going and keep you occupied for a very long time. Even when all the sugar, even when it starts to turn hard, just keep chewing. It keep you occupied. All right, what do we have here? Nolan says, host, what's your opinion on a $20 a day as an investment? What's your opinion on $20 a day as, yes. That's my opinion. My opinion is invest $20 a day and diversify your portfolio in index, ETFs, individual shares, bonds, and make sure that it's coming from large capital stocks, common stock, emerging markets. You just want a well-diversified portfolio, okay? And depending on that $20 a month, depending on what portfolio you want to build, whether it be blue chips or commodities or all of the above, green energy, right? You want to be many stocks in many sectors, then you might just want to wait and save up that $20 a day and go out and buy an accumulation of shares in one stock. And then when you get paid again, save up that $20 a day and do the same for your next shares of that stock, okay? Let's see here. Thank you, Ms. Curly Girl. She says, great info being shared tonight. take a second to hit the like button. All right, Dink Fryson, thank you for all you do. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Dink. Thank you very much. Are marijuana stocks a good investment? You know what? I know of one. I don't know if it's a good investment, right? Because the federal government has not approved the recreational sale of marijuana stocks, right? So that kind of makes me hesitant about the stock. So I'm looking at, no, I don't like this website, ACB. Let's go over to Market Watch. I'm gonna show you my screen here in a second, ladies and gentlemen, so you can see exactly what I'm looking at. I'm trying to look up Aurora Cannabis because that's the one that's only on my brain right now. Let's see, their ticker is ACB, Aurora Cannabis. So let's look at what I'm looking at. All right, let's blow it up for you guys. All right, I think that's big. All right, now we're looking at Aurora Cannabis, okay? And we just have to look at, right now it's showing 1 day. You see where my cursor is? It's showing us 1 day of their returns, right? So they're up 0.02, okay? So let's look at a year. All right, so look where they started off at here, ladies and gentlemen. Around $7.34, and they have been slowly declining. Look at this. This based off this information, the marijuana cannabis stocks, I don't think they're going anywhere, but based upon this small statistical information, everything is in a negative. I mean, right now this stock is definitely on sale, and it doesn't mean that this stock will not be a good return, but it makes me hesitant when their EPS, yeah, let me close this. Okay. Really? We're gonna keep doing that? Well, anyway, it scares me when I see their EPS is a negative $1. Anytime you look at a company's EPS when you're doing your market research, when you're doing your stock research, and it's less than, if it's less than anything, if it's the negative sign, then that company is actually doing business in debt. It doesn't mean that they will not come out of it. It's just, significant, information for you to make a conscious decision if you're going to buy this stock now at a discount, and it may rise up. Now, for me, I probably wouldn't buy it right now. I will have to see maybe a month trend of it going up a little bit. Then I will probably buy it then. But some people say, well, you lost out on some returns. Why not buy it now? I'm just showing you on some particular stocks because the marijuana stock market, not stock market, but stocks are fairly new. Okay, fairly new. We got about 9 or 10 states that they made recreational marijuana actually legal. And if you look over here, ladies and gentlemen, 52-week range. So it tells you at one point this stock is worth $10.30, but now the lowest was $1.43, and right now is $1.57. So take, for instance, if you would have bought this stock at 143, the appreciation of your value would have went up, was at 10 cents or something, right? 13, 14 cents. So with that being said, you would have made some money. But if you would have bought it at this particular price because you thought it was going to keep rising up, then your stock appreciation would have went down. And again, you don't lose money because the stock declined in its appreciation value. You only lose money when you sell, okay? You only lose money when you sell. So that is the big difference. And there's some other information that we can get into. We can come down here. We can look at the short interest. I mean, there's just a lot of information, guys, that you can do with these stocks. Now, I'm not trying to avoid your question, but I just can't give you, I don't like to give people advice if it's a good or bad investment when I really don't know. I really don't know. Could this bottom out? Could this tank? Yeah. If the federal government comes out with some sort of legislation or bill or something in all the, Colorado, Washington, D.C., everybody who's legalized weed, Las Vegas, whatever, and they have to close their weed industry, all these marijuana stocks would bottom out. They would just boop, because there would be no more businesses to have the shares in the stock. Would be no more business. So boop, you just lose money. Do I think that's going to happen? No, I think hopefully we're gonna get a president and they see the potential in CBD, because we know CBD is it derives from the marijuana plant, but it doesn't have the same medical or not hallucinogenic, no, not that, but same drug feeling that which you have THC in, okay? It's without THC, and they use it for medical reasons, for inflammatory and sleep and all sorts of other things. Now, some people actually want the THC because they understand that they have like insomnia or sleep apnea, that because of the THC can, you get, what is it, 2 types? I think it's, I used to do this because at one point I was investing in another marijuana stock, but I sold all of them. They were doing horrible. But Savita, I don't think it, Sativa. I said Savita, like Velveeta cheese. No, it don't. Yeah. So Sativa and Indica. Yeah. So Indica, I think, makes you go to sleep or helps you to relax, and Sativa gives you energy. So a person with certain sleep conditions, they will use the Indica, marijuana, whatever it is, and help them to actually, go to sleep. And I'm pretty sure there's some CBDs out there that can do the same thing, but not with the same potency. So I know I went all around the world, same song, but that's what I got, guys. That's what I got. Okay. So I'm going to read your notes and I'm gonna get out here and close. I'm coming close on an hour. I don't like to make these longer than an hour because you'll lose people throughout this. Hopefully you're getting some good information. Hopefully I'm answering your questions. Okay. El Kuj says, Dow dropped 1,000 points today. See, I told you. I said 500 or something. I didn't really look at it. They dropped 1,000 points. And I got it, guys. Some of you are like, so it dropped 1,000 points. I don't know what that means. It just means that a lot of people lost a lot of money because they were selling all their shares. And I always listen to Warren Buffett. Sometimes you got to emulate and simulate those who've done it before you, who were great, who was a billionaire. He said, hey, the transfer of wealth is from the impatient to the patient. And then secondly, when the stock market does a correction or we go into a recession, stocks become on sale and you can buy really, really expensive stocks that are going to bounce back in appreciation value at a very low rate, so you're going to make tons of money. Warren Buffett. All right. Where we at, ladies and gentlemen? Okay. Thank you, Dink. I appreciate that. Derek C., invest in what you understand. Yes. See, here's another thing. Warren Buffett said he only invests in stocks that he is familiar with or he knows. But ladies and gentlemen, if you want to invest into a particular sector of stocks like blue chips, like tech stocks, then guess what? Go and research tech. Because this information that we know, that people know, they just didn't obtain it. It just didn't come in their minds. They actually did the research. They read journals. They studied. And you want to know about those because you want to know about the innovation and the inventions that will come out to make you good money. All right. Thank you, Ms. Curliger. I appreciate that. She read the disclaimer. Ross is not a financial advisor. The info given in this live is for informational use only. Please conduct research for yourself and invest at your own risk. Thank you. All right. And I thank you, Ms. Curliger, for once again doing a tremendous job of narrating today. All my good information up there. Again, guys, you may not see any information in the description below, but right after the video, you will see it in there. Just refresh in probably a couple of minutes. So if you want investment advice, there's my email. I will answer a question. If you want a coaching call, that does take a donation of $10. But everything else, disputing credit, I'll give you the letters. All of that is totally free. That's the only thing that I charge, or I don't really charge. It's more of a donation of $10 for my time. I'll give you a call up. We'll talk about your financial need, your financial struggles, and develop a plan for you to go on your way and do well in your finances. But anything else, you got a quick question, I'll answer that. Again, 5 minutes after the video is done, refresh, and you will see all the information to invest in Stash, to invest in Robinhood, and other sorts of financial information and planning. Well, there you have it. This is Financial Literacy 101. I'm your host, Ross World. Learn money and be inspired. You know what, though? Man, people really give bad advice, and some of you lose all your money.